Inside of this church today, people came to light a candle and say a prayer for two little girls found dead on Christmas Day.
Some people are deeply moved and troubled, and others just can't believe what they're hearing about this family and the struggles in our society with violence.
At the time of their deaths, Audrey and Chloe were staying with their father, Aubrey Berry, at this apartment building. He and the girl's mother were embroiled in a custody dispute. When the case went before the court in 2016, Berry owed nearly $30,000 in child support. During the trial, the mother testified that back in 2013, Berry said he would blow up the house if he did not get a breakdown of what happened to a child care benefit check. She said he looked angry and crazed. She testified that 2 days later, Berry pinned her on the bed. The police were called and a restraining order was issued. Berry was under investigation twice by child welfare authorities, including once after he was accused of touching one of his daughters inappropriately. He said he may have done that while drying her off after a bath. In her decision, the justice said the father's aggressive behavior was transient and relatively minor. It has not been directed at the children. This is not a case where family violence is a significant factor for determining parenting arrangements. A relative of the mother says the decision was infuriating.
My niece went to a great length with an awful lot of money. And for what? I blame them more than anything.
You mean the court system?
Yes. That man should never have been left alone with those children.
The existence of a bitter custody battle is a risk factor for severe or potential lethal violence.
This clinical counselor says there are several red flags in the couple's history and says there needs to be more guidelines and training for judges when it comes to assessing the risk of domestic violence.
If you drink and drive, you lose your car that day. But if you say that you're going to blow up the house and you've got 2 kids living at that house, how is it that you can have custody of those kids?
That's a question that will likely be asked as the investigation into what happened continues. Berry is in hospital, injured. Charges haven't been laid, but police say they aren't looking for further suspects. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Vancouver.